The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
I'm Lisa Law. I've traveled the world to seek spiritual knowledge, to visit sacred places, and to find inner peace. Where we go and what we do on our journey is important. So are the people we meet along the way, the ones who support us, inspire us, and help us be more positive. I want you to meet these special people. So welcome to the Sharing Room. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. It's my honor and privilege to have Nicole Ennis here today from the Front Door Agency. The Front Door Agency is one of my very favorite nonprofits in the Nashua area. So welcome, Nicole.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks. So why don't we get started by telling everyone what the Front Door Agency is and what your mission is?
Okay. So we are a local nonprofit in the Nashua area, actually celebrating our 35th year this year. And our mission is to assist individuals and families as they transition from crisis to self-sufficiency. And we do that in a number of different ways. And crisis may vary. We support single mothers, we support families, elderly, anyone that may need a hand up and a little extra support.
So I know one of your big programs is Transitional Housing. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so we have a transformational housing program that we run for single mothers and children, and it's a 3-phase program. So women would come to us facing homelessness, and they enroll in the program. We have a group home on Concord Street in Nashua where families live together, and that's really where they come to just kind of find their roots and figure out their interests, get balance in their life, childcare.
I know a lot of them are going back to school too and trying to further their education while they're in the program.
Right. I think that's what sets us aside from any other organization is our focus on education. They are required to be in some sort of education or work program to be in our program. We really think that it is education that helps to break the cycle of poverty. We can give them assistance, we can help them, but it's not until they get to that next level that they can really break that cycle.
I know from listening to a lot of their stories that a lot of the women are leaving situations of domestic violence or, other things that they're trying to overcome as well.
Right. Yeah, when women come to our program, it can be, like I said earlier, a variety of different types of crisis. Sometimes it may be abuse, sometimes, poor relationships, substance abuse. So they really are coming to us to make that next step for themselves and their children.
It really is a starting over.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's great for us. We really are able to see these women and children evolve. And one of the things that I find so rewarding is as you see the mothers evolve and become more self-sufficient and really do well, their children just do well alongside of them.
So they start out in the first group home, and then I know you also have some apartments when people are able to live more independently.
Yep, so it's a 3-phase program like I mentioned. So the first phase is in the group setting. There they live with other families. They have shared kitchen, dining room, living room space, but they do have their own suite with a half bathroom and a room for themselves and their children. And they can be in that phase of the program anywhere from 3 months to a year, depending on the family. And then from there, they move to phase 2, which we have a variety of apartments around the Nashua area. They assume more responsibility as far as utilities and still work closely with our case managers at that point. But the goal is to work through all 3 phases and be able to be self-sufficient and also afford market rent.
Nice. So I know you also have a holiday program. Would
Yes.
you like to talk about that?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. So we run a holiday program. We just actually finished registrations for that. And nearly 500 kids from the Nashua area will receive clothes, toys. We're very fortunate for many businesses and individuals and community partners that help support that program. And I think one of the interesting things, and sometimes people don't think like this, but the holidays are really something that can lead people towards homelessness, because no one wants their kids to go without at the holidays. So some people may want to be able to provide gifts for their children rather than
Get in trouble with their credit cards.
and get behind on utilities. So this program really is making a difference, because these families are able to still stay on top of their bills and still be able to provide Christmas to their children. So right now we are on our website. We do have openings for anyone that may be interested in adopting a child. It's a great way to get your family involved, and if you're able to, be able to provide Christmas for someone in need.
I know that teenagers often get overlooked in the gift shopping. So do you have some suggestions if people want to help to bring, I know gift cards and things like that, or iTunes gift cards and things are helpful?
So we help children up to age 18. So we do have a lot of high school aged children that are being adopted. Gift cards are always helpful, clothes. You do have families that are often asking for warm clothes, for boots, winter coats. But gift cards, teenagers always appreciate gift cards.
Are you still having the need for people to go shop?
We do still have openings for families if they want to adopt children, and that's right on our website. If you go to our homepage, there's a link to go on and adopt a child.
So they'll give a list of what that family might need and the sizes of clothes and things?
Yep, so if you decide to adopt a child, you can go through our website, and then you can say if you'd like, some people want a girl a certain age maybe to match up to their own child, so you can request what would be a good fit for you, and then our office will then provide you with a list of sizes, things that they need, and then a few things that they may want.
So I know another thing that you guys do is to help people who need rent assistance, or maybe they've had a medical crisis or lost a job, and you also help fill those gaps for people too. You want to talk about that?
We do. So we have a housing stability program, and the Transformational Housing Program is strictly for women and children. Our housing stability program is for anyone that may need some extra support. We offer security deposit loans, we have rental assistance, utility assistance, and oftentimes it may be a medical issue. We've seen a huge increase, obviously, this past year and a half with COVID. A lot of people that were out of work and just couldn't keep up on their bills. And a lot of the people that were struggling before are struggling more during COVID. We have a lot of people in the hospitality business or our restaurants that just, they didn't have the work. So we've been able to support a lot of people in the area to
That's great.
avoid homelessness.
So I know you're in the development office
Yes.
of the Front Door Agency. Where does most of your funding come from?
So we have a really diverse funding, which is important to have, but we're supported by state and federal funding. We're very fortunate to have corporations as community partners in the area, and then also individuals. A lot of our fundraising comes right from the community that supports us, and our annual appeal is going out later this month, and we're fortunate that people just keep coming and showing up.
So if people want to learn more, they can go on, you have a Facebook page, and people could sign up for your newsletter and
Yep.
your mailings through your website?
Yes, so if you go to our website, which is frontdooragency.org, you can click on to learn more information. We can add you to our email list. We have a great social media presence too, so we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So I always tell people to go there. We're always posting what's going on in the community, what we're doing, so it's a great way to follow us.
It's also a great way to help you if people are willing to share your content
Yes.
on those social media platforms. It really helps more people see what you do and all the
Yes.
great work that's happening in our community.
Yeah, I always say it takes a village. We're fortunate. The community is behind us. Nashua is full of wonderful nonprofits that we collaborate with all the time. So we're really fortunate to be in such a tight community.
So I was a board member for about 10 years, and one of the things that I did was chair your gourmet festival.
Yes.
And we were talking ahead of time, and you said that you're going to do it again in person. Would you like to talk about the gourmet festival and
Yes,
It's a really
so
special event.
it is, and we, the last 2 years, we ran the event virtually, and we were still really successful, but we're excited to be back in person this year. So the date is March 20th at the Nashua Country Club. It's a great event. We have area chefs from all over that come in and provide tastes of their food, so you can taste great food, be with friends, bid on great items, and then we have a live auction also.
The silent auction is worth going alone, and then also the food.
Yes.
So it's really fun to get to interact at the Gourmet Festival with the different chefs, and everything they bring in, they donate, which I'm
do.
not sure people realize. They do that all from the heart, and some of them have done it for the entire, I don't know how many years it's been, 25 of the Gourmet Festival?
34, actually. This
Of
is
the
going to be
Gourmet
the
Festival?
34th year. And many of the chefs have been with us from the beginning. And they do, they donate their time, they donate their staff to be with us, and the food. So they're what really makes the event. And we're excited because we already have quite a few chefs signed on to join us this year. So I think they've missed it too.
So if someone has a service or a product that they'd like to donate, what kinds of things do well, and are you looking for?
So we'd love to have a variety of items. So gift cards, restaurant gift cards, but also services, massages, hair salon. Think about the things that you frequent often. You know, sometimes those people may want to help and provide a gift certificate, activities, different trips, things like that. We like to
So
have
if
a
someone has a
variety.
connection at a big hotel or
Yes.
a resort, maybe put them in touch with you?
Yeah, reach out to our office. We've already have some items coming in already. The event's in March, but we definitely start planning come August. So we have some generous donors that have already donated some great items.
Like what can you say?
Well, we have gift cards. We've got some Celtics tickets that already came in, some restaurants. So
Great.
it'll keep coming. We have a gourmet committee also that helps to plan the event. So if anyone has some time and is interested in helping or participating, we're always looking for volunteers to serve on that committee also.
Nice. So what other events do you have during the year?
So that is our main large event. And we do have the holiday program that we talked about. I think one of the other things that's important is our financial literacy. All the women that are in our program go through a financial literacy class. Many of the women, like I said, when they first come to us, they're really stabilizing their lives. And a lot of that is learning to be able to have a healthy budget, learning to save money so they can save up to be able to afford market rent. I think it's surprising for people to hear that the average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in the Nashua area is over $1,600 a month. So that's a lot of money for a single mother with children when you're paying for daycare and just trying to make ends meet.
And if you've maybe not gone to college and
Right.
doing entry-level kind of positions, it's hard.
Right. Even
hard to
even
get
someone
ahead.
making, $16 an hour, when you add that all up and expenses, that's not nearly enough.
Well, it's great you guys help out with all of that.
Yeah.
So what else should people know about the Front Door Agency?
Well, another great thing too is we're always looking for volunteers. One of the interesting things is our front reception desk is all run by volunteers. So if anyone has extra time and would like to learn more about what we do, I welcome them to reach out to me, and maybe if they have some time, they can support us. We're always looking for help at the holidays to run the holiday program. We are building a Friends of the Front Door Agency group. We're in the beginning phases of it, but the idea would be a Facebook group where people can join and go to see what we have going on, and maybe we need some volunteers to set up an apartment for a young mom that's moving in, that we would reach out through there. So that's something we're excited about that we're going to be building very soon.
I know you, from being connected, that you have a really special staff too, and
Yeah.
a really special board of directors. So if anyone's, looking for to get more involved, it's a really wonderful organization.
Yeah. Well, you said you were on the board for over 10 years. We are very fortunate. We have 27 board members, so we have an amazingly strong board, and they're, advocates for us and out in the community and helping us with our events and our fundraising. So we're very fortunate to have a very connected board of directors.
So what appealed to me about it was the idea of giving a hand up instead of a handout, that it's really providing resources for people to be their best version of themselves and supporting them all the way along the way, and their children and in their families and the greater community too.
Yeah, when you talk to our staff that work directly with the women, it's hard work. These women have to come in and they have to be ready to make the sacrifices and to make those choices to help themselves and their children. And it's not always easy, especially at the beginning, but they're ready to make positive changes, and I think it's really powerful to watch. And our staff are fortunate to be able to see these women progress. Our director of our Transformational Housing program has been with the agency for 20 years. So she's seen so many success stories. Our CEO also has been here over 20 years. So, we're able to see the success. And many of our clients are right in our community now, giving back.
I can tell you just how much I grew as being a board member. I went on the board when I was I guess I was almost 30. And I learned so much from the other people and being part of the mission, and I had no idea I knew how to fundraise until I jumped in and asked people for different items. And I said that when I graduated and went off the board, I felt like I had graduated from the program too, because I changed and grew so much as a part of being involved.
Yeah, it feels good to be part of something like this. And you say you graduated, but you're still a huge supporter of ours.
I'm not so far away.
Yeah.
We still come to the Gourmet Festival every year, and I've gone in and done some meditation and some different programmings with both the clients and the staff, so it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's great to stay connected too.
Well, I feel like in this last year of COVID, I used to travel a lot, and being home more, I just have such a greater appreciation for our community and how special it is. And, we have our beautiful environment, but Nashua is this really special place of really having caring people that get up every day wanting to make the world a better place. And I feel lucky to live where we do.
Yeah,
because it's not like that everywhere.
No, I agree. And about a year and a half ago when COVID hit, I'm the director of development, so I lead our fundraising efforts for the agency, and I was nervous. Everything was so unknown. People didn't know what was happening, and I'm just amazed that people just kept showing up and stepping up and supporting us. And, we had donors that donated their COVID funds that they received, their stimulus, and wanted to give it to someone that could use it.
To pay it forward.
Yeah, so we really have been very lucky to have such generous support in the community.
So you mentioned, that there is an element to it being hard. What is it that makes you get up every day and want to go to work there?
So I love what I do, and I think it's knowing that we're helping someone else, and the stories are what keep me going, hearing the success stories. I don't work directly with the women, but for our Gourmet Festival, we normally have a client that will come in and share her story, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is to meet with that client and hear their success. We do a lot of our marketing is sharing the stories of our women, sharing the stories of the children. So I think those stories and hearing, the success of the women in our program, and it just makes me proud to be able to do what I do.
There's usually a picture on your annual fund of a family, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, and this year's annual fund, which I said will be coming out later this month, is a really amazing story of a young mother that she did work in nonprofit at one point. She just was in a series of unhealthy relationships, and she just could not get ahead, one after another, and she got to the point where she realized that she was going to be homeless. She had never heard of the Front Door Agency. Someone recommended it to her, and she came to us and took the steps she needed to, and her and her daughter live in a great apartment here in Nashua. She's worked and got a great job now, so just hearing her success and hearing how proud she was of herself, it's a powerful story.
Yeah, it's great. So what else would you like people to know?
I guess one thing definitely would be to keep an eye for our Gourmet Festival and Auction, which I said will be in March. Anyone that may have items or donations, we would love the support. And then I think a message for people to know is that to watch out for your neighbors. You know, someone, if you know someone that's struggling or, you know, behind on their rent or having a difficult time, let them know about what we do. That's how we spread the word, is by people talking about our program, and, you know, people like yourself that, you know, you're an advocate for us and you share. Some people don't know that there's services out there that can help them.
Yeah, they feel alone
Yeah.
trying to deal with everything.
And I will say that our staff are just phenomenal people, and they treat everybody that comes to us with dignity and respect. That's very important. It could be any one of us that finds themselves in this type of situation. Crisis can hit anyone. So people should know that if they come to us, they're treated with respect, and we want to help. We've had many clients reach back out to us saying, you know, that they were embarrassed to ask for help, and nobody made them feel like they should be. So this can happen to anyone, and
It's men and women and also elderly people who you can help. It's
absolutely.
more of the focus with the transitional housing is on the women, but I know men and elderly people have been helped too.
Yeah, and we recently, over the winter, we helped a single father who lost his job with COVID, and, you know, he was embarrassed. He didn't think it would happen to him, but he just needed a little extra help, and he's back at work and he's doing well, and it can happen to anyone.
It's not just financial support you give. I know you also connect people with counseling and other resources that they might need.
Yeah, and like I said, Nashua is full of so many great nonprofits and community organizations. We work really closely with all of them. So we may have people or an organization that refer clients to us, and we do the same. If we don't have the services they need, then we will point them in the right direction. And we're fortunate. Boys and Girls Club, they take really good care of our children that are in our program. They were able to help all of our mothers during COVID so that they could still continue to work, and their children had a safe place to be during the day. So we work really closely with all the great organizations.
You do some collaboration with the Salvation Army too, right?
Correct, yes. So they participate in our holiday program, and we work closely with them in providing outreach to people in the community, letting them know about all the services that are available.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a guest today.
Thanks for having me.
And I wish you well with the Gourmet Festival and
Thank
through the
you.
holidays. And
Yes, I hope to see you there.
you'll have to come back again and
Absolutely.
update us on how everything's going and how the Gourmet went this year.
I would love to.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Join us again for the sharing room, and thank you for joining us today. And please stay tuned for more information about the Front Door Agency.
I feel like the Front Door Agency is the foundation for my success. I really didn't know what I was coming into, and the program not only helped me, but it really empowered my two sons, who are now 22 and 18.
The Front Door Agency's Transformational Housing program has so much to offer single mothers like me, including educational opportunities, help finding affordable childcare and transportation, and even financial literacy classes to help me create a budget and build my credit score.
So I've had the privilege and the honor of serving as the CEO for the Front Door Agency for over 2 decades. And I think why I am so passionate about the organization is really our mission of helping families and individuals with support and services and fostering education to help them become self-sufficient.
Our focus on education sets us aside from a lot of other programs. People can come into the program and work a full-time job making minimum wage and never get anywhere. But if they get an education, then they have a skill. No one can ever take that away from them. That is what makes them kind of get to that next level where they're able to break the cycle of poverty. So when they first enter the program, they are learning the skills they need to be independent, and they're often asked to do things differently than they may have been doing them in the past.
They're making it so easy to learn how to do the adult things. Doing a budget, making sure that you're not spending more than you're supposed to be, making sure you're getting everything that you need first.
Right now in New Hampshire, there is a real shortage of really affordable housing in our communities. So we see a lot of individuals who come to us needing some extra assistance, again, paying for a security deposit, or if they are staying at one of our local shelters or family shelter, they're coming to us in order to get help with the security deposit and maybe first month's rent as well.
So I'm a mom of 3 children, ages 5, 7, 9. Their father has struggled with addiction since he was a teenager. When he lost his job in the pandemic, it kind of just made it really tough, where I had to get a protective order. My kids would ask for their dad. They didn't understand. Like, their whole world kind of crashed down. And I told them, it's okay, we have each other, and that's what's most important. And then I went from making $600-700 a week to $300 a week. My rent, $1,600 a month, nothing included. This was all new to me. I had worked with so many friends and families, but never thought it could happen to me.
I think it's important to treat everyone that comes to us with respect and dignity, because it could be any one of us at any time. It takes a lot of courage to reach out for help, and it's not an easy thing for someone to say, I need some assistance.
We are so different in our community in that we provide a holistic approach to helping a family, whether it's a one-time crisis where we can help provide a hand up, or whether it's someone who needs a little more support, longer-term support through our Transformational Housing program. And they have to do the hard work, and it pays off. And now they all are contributing members of our community.
It's nice to see somebody come from not necessarily zero, but they come in and they need everything that this place provides. And then to see them move on, you're going from seeing them as a toddler and just learning how to do everything to being an adult and moving out on their own. Like, we're seeing the exact same thing and we're living it with them. So, we're part of their success story as well. It's not just our success story, it's all of our success stories. It's our children's success stories.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.